on the health engineering sector over the last few years. And our efforts are also being recognized by the fact that uh, many industries as well as pre-incubation organizations are actually showing interest in some of the projects which are coming up through the Innova competition route, which just shows that our efforts have started to become recognized. And it's also a fact that in the Indian ecosystem, a lot of prominence is being given for entrepreneurship. And there are many organizations and funding agencies which are getting interested in supporting various initiatives from our students and faculty with regard to putting up projects of social consequence and kind of looking after their pre-incubation needs to make sure that by the time these projects come up from the ideation stage right up to the commercial stage, we are trying to make the situation as easy as possible for the students who are carrying out these projects. And it also helps the entrepreneurs because in the initial stages, they don't have to struggle too much in terms of finances or know-how because they are kind of handheld to the stage of commercialization. So there are many initiatives coming up like this. Some of you might be aware. There has been the MCRC initiative. PALS has also been involved with the RUTAG initiative, Rural Technology Action Group, which is another division in IIT Madras, which is helping us for socially relevant projects belonging to the rural areas. And now actually the HTIC also is, I'm sure, very familiar to our partner colleges. Every year they join up with PALS and organize faculty development programs, and many faculty from our partner institutions have been attending HTIC FDPs over the past few years. But right as of now, HTIC is having a partnership with the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, and there is some possibility of funding for various projects coming in the area of biotech, environmental clean energy, agriculture, sanitation and waste management. I think in some of these areas already our students are focusing with regard to our Innova projects. So we believe that there are opportunities here. And when HTIC approached us saying whether we can have a discussion with the partner colleges and try to give an idea with regard to what exactly is this initiative, new initiative they are looking at. From PALS, of course, we readily agreed because anything for the benefit of our partner institutions is good for PALS. So with these few words, I would like to hand over to Mr. Muthu Shingaram and Pratishtha Jain from HTIC, and they will take over to do the presentation for the rest of the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohan. I'd like to thank PALS, multiple people at PALS who actually made this happen. Mr. Mohan Narayanan, he's a good friend of Muthu sir, so I think it was easy for us to reach out to him, and he very readily agreed. So we had really good coordination and cooperation from Mr. Mohan Palgat Sujata as well in coordinating this in a very short time. I am aware that PALS calendar is completely swarmed, and we're doing n number of sessions on a daily basis. It's really overwhelming to see a lot of participation from your side and an overwhelming response for the session. So with that, I'd like to start today's session. I'd like to introduce quickly, we have online our CEO, Mr. Muthu Singara. He's the CEO of HTIC MedTech Incubator. We also have online our team, Sumitra, Ashini, and Archana, who are part of the MedTech Incubator. So a little bit about HTIC before we move on to the big scheme. So Healthcare Technology Innovation Center is a joint initiative by IIT Madras and Department of Biotechnology. The focus of the center is to sort of develop, deploy, design affordable solutions in the healthcare space that creates social and national impact. So we have multiple parts of the center. The center was started in 2012 with the interest of actually doing innovation in the healthcare space, looking at the huge dearth required in the healthcare industry. So we started off doing research and development, translation research, and slowly the ecosystem was building with a lot of clinicians, engineers, hospital owners coming together to build the entire healthcare innovation ecosystem. Now we have multiple parts. One part is research, the other part is incubation, where we house startups working in the healthcare space and provide them with the necessary support and equipment and guidance required to build a successful venture. Recently, we've been awarded, we're funded by and supported by BIRAC under the Bionist scheme, and recently we've been nominated as the big associate partner by BIRAC, which Muthusa will be talking about shortly about the big scheme. Sumitra, can you move to the next slide? So this is our ecosystem. We were established in 2012, and we've successfully rolled out 4 technologies in the market. And we have 5 technologies on the pipeline right now. We have over 80 engineers, researchers, students, faculty members working with us in developing these technologies that are completely innovative in collaboration with industry and government bodies. We have over 30 plus collaborators. You can see we have a good mix of engineers, universities, international universities that we are collaborating and doing joint research with. We have a lot of industry partners and a lot of healthcare organizations and clinicians also on board. Obviously, we also have the last piece, which is the government, which they're also very actively supporting us in all our initiatives. So we've so far executed about 35 projects. I will quickly take you through some of the projects. We filed 12 patents, especially in this space, and we have 25 startups incubated right now. And we have a rolling pre-incubation program. So currently, we have 12 startups who are pre-incubated, and most of our startups that are on board are actually experienced doctors, researchers, engineers, faculty members from IIT and outside IIT as well. Still entrepreneurs, and also a lot of students from different parts of the country. So I want to clear one thing, that a lot of startups feel, or a lot of faculty feel that this is focused only on IIT Madras. But this particular center is open to a lot of everybody. We take a lot of external applications. It'll be surprising for you to know that, over 75% of our applications are actually external. And a lot of our startups and pre-incubatees are also from different institutes and organizations. Next slide, please. So some of the successful technologies that we've translated, this will help in sort of understanding the kind of work we do and the kind of groundbreaking innovation that we've actually commercialized in the last few years. The first stint was with Shankar Nethralaya, an eye hospital based in Tamil Nadu. So we developed something called MISU, a mobile eye surgical unit, which is a delivery unit to do cataract operations. So these are 2 units. If you can see, there are 2 buses that are actually parked together, and there's a vestibule which connects both the buses. And the surgeries take place on one side. This is the operative unit, and the other side is actually for preparing the patients. We've done over 14,000 surgeries. The entire design of the unit was actually done by HTIC. The clinical pathway, the clinical support was from Shankar Nethralaya, and we also had TVS and Ashok Leyland on board, who supported us in actually putting the entire development part together. So this has been very successful, and this has also been sort of approved by the Ministry of Health as a delivery model to do cataract operations right now. So 2 units are out there. This is on a complete CSR initiative, and we've done over 100 camps so far. The other one is actually a imaging software screening, which is actually called IPAC, which is done in collaboration with Forest, which is a very young medtech company based out of Bangalore. So the ophthalmic screening software is focused on doing processing, editing, and computing for eye conditions, early eye conditions like glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy. It's a multifunctional ophthalmic screening device which can do multiple tests without dilating your eye. the highlight here is that you don't really require any kind of dilation to do the screening. So this also has been successfully commercialized, and there are about 2,600 devices that have been successfully deployed in 28 different countries, and 2.5 million screenings have been done. So all these solutions are actually developed in-house at HTIC with the support. Obviously, we have a really strong talented team in-house. So the other offshoot solution that is from IPAC is actually called Trinetra Neo. It is a neonatal device for ROP, retinopathy of prematurity. Even this has been successfully designed and developed and commercialized. About a lakh screenings have been done, and this has been commercialized in 9 different countries. It is a single handheld device which goes directly inside the eye of the baby. If you see that, neonates usually do not have their retinal structures completely developed, especially when they're preterm. So this helps in early diagnosis and treating them early on. The other very big project that we are working on is with JMITRA. It's called iQuant. This is a quantitative screening device that can do tests like T3, T4, HbA1c, influenza, all of them. We're looking to broaden the tests that we can do so far. So 350 instruments have already been manufactured, and we're looking to target 5,000 labs in the forthcoming years. On the pipeline, we also have we're also doing some robotics, doing some research in the robotic surgery space. Our point of care diagnostic space is also increasing. We have a small team also working on physiological sensing, which is building wearables. And we have also a very large team working on developing country's first indigenous endoscope. That is part of the imaging team. So these are some of the technology translations. This is how our facility looks like. This is our research side. It is a very uniquely designed facility to cater to very specific requirements of medical technology research and incubation. Next slide, please. So this is our incubation facility. You see that the way our facility is designed, it is very, very different from the normal corporate setup. This is completely innovative. And the style of the entire space is street style, where you see there's a path running throughout the center. We'll be happy to walk you through the center once you're back into office. Next slide, please. So the kind of impact we've created in the last 2.5 years of incubation, we have about 25 startups on board. We've supported about 80 startups, faculty members, students from different spheres. And we've raised over 5 crores of funding. The incubated startups alone have actually generated employment of over 100 people, and 70% of our startups have actually been funded over the last 2 years itself. Next slide, please. Recently, we've also started a new program called the Splash program. We run multiple programs, incubation programs for startups who are at very early stages of ideation, and they require some support in crystallizing the idea. Specifically in the medtech space. So we support them, guide them for 3 to 6 months, and then we take them forward for a formal incubation agreement, which is for 18 to 16 months. We provide multiple business support services. I will be talking in detail about these services as well. We're also doing a very socially relevant program called SPARSH, which is a social innovation program for products in the space of affordable and relevant healthcare for societal health. The 2 themes that we're actually working on right now is maternal health, child health, aging, and health. So here we have fellows on board who do immersion in these spaces and identify some really unique ideas that can be developed and sort of created into an enterprise. So right now we have 5 fellows who come on board who are under the social immersion program. Who are going through the entire process of ideation, identifying clinical gaps, and developing solution that can be commercialized in the future. We are also one of the satellite center for the Kavach program, which is supporting COVID-19 health crisis. So this is a program which is supporting diagnostic devices, informatics, bioinformatics related solutions that can control or sort of prevent COVID-19. A lot of applications were received, and startups have been given funding up to 2 crores to deploy their idea and expedite the process to market and scale the idea. Next slide, please. Some of the support that we provide, we have a very wide network of mentors. A lot of our mentors are actually IIT alumni itself. Like we have Mr. Mohan Narayanan who's part of PALS, is also one of our mentors down at IIT Madras. So we have a lot of serial entrepreneurs who mentor investors, domain experts, and industry heads. We also have a lot of faculty members and VC and angels who come on board to support and sort of help the startups in refining their ideas. Startups also get business support services like support in terms of accounting, CS, corporate secretaryship, legal, IP, design, and human resource. Value additions we provide even during the lockdown. We've continuously doing a lot of online events for startups to learn and get trained and upskilled during this time. So a lot of startup programs happen. The startups also have access to our medical technology facility and also get a lot of assistance from our researchers who are working on these ideas. We have a huge network of investors also, and we very regularly conduct investor meets and pitch events. We also do a lot of hiring programs like for job fairs and institutional visits that sort of bring employment and also provide good talent like you guys. So there's a small pool of funding called the IIT Innovation Fund that is also provided as a part of the incubation support, which is through grants, loans, and that is provided through a lot of CSR initiatives as well. So the seed funding ranges between 5 lakhs to 25 lakhs. There are also loans and convertible note support that is provided to startups. Office space, like you just saw, we have a very uniquely designed space which is comfortable and designed for medical technology startups. It is also a very thriving ecosystem because we're situated in IIT Madras Research Park. So we get a lot of support in terms of getting connected to other organizations and institutes to do joint research, and also getting connected to other startups to brainstorm and see how the ideas can be further resolved. So we do a lot of workshops, product demos, and startup launch programs for visibility of the startups. This is our portfolio. I will not go into details of the portfolio. We have startups ranging from providing cancer-related treatments to AI-related solutions to rehab-assistive technology. We have very interesting startups working on VR, AR. They provide surgical simulation through AR and VR. So we have a whole range of startups working in the stress measurement space, monitoring stress levels of corporate employees, and also 3D printing and designing, developing orthopedic footwear. So there's a whole range of medical startups that are there. Next slide, please. Some of our startups are extremely founders are extremely experienced with 40 years of experience, and who also are faculty members. We also have a lot of young startups like Mouseware. They're working on assistive technology that is a hands-free head mouse device for differently abled people. We also have young and budding entrepreneurs like C3 MedTech and Medicine VR, who are working on providing affordable solution for ophthalmic screening. So these are some of our startups that are supported by IIT Madras MedTech Incubator. Next slide, please. So some of our partners are here. Like you can see, we have a lot of funding agencies and angel networks that we work with, like Venture East, Calypso Forum, Chennai Angels. We also have a lot of healthcare organizations to support the startups in doing their verification and clinical trials, like Dr. Mehta's Sri Ramachandra Medical Center, Sitapati Clinic, and Medway Hospital. We have connects with some ecosystem players like PALS, TAI Chennai, and GDC, and our own sister incubators like Incubation Cell and IITM, Bioincubator, and RTBI. We also get some good support from government agencies like DBT, DST, BIRAC, BioNES, METI, DATI. A lot of these government agencies in terms of financial support for startups and for the incubator as well. That's all from HTIC's side. Over to Muthu sir to give you an overview on the big scheme that is under the BIRAC support. Any questions, you guys can post it on the chat box, please.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
What does it show? Anything?
Not yet, not yet.
What does it say?
We can't see your screen. We can just see your picture right now.
Okay. Then it's not. Just let me.
We can see your screen now.
Okay. Still there?
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I mean, it was a long presentation of our center, but I think it is important that you understand what we can offer to faculty, students, and startups out there. And it's a pretty dynamic center, so you've just seen that. Let's talk about why we're here today. Primarily, we're here to talk about the Ignition Grant, which is the big grant, which is one of the flagship programs from the Department of Biotechnology, which BIRAC runs. So we have just been appointed as an associate big partner. So all being well, we should be able to guide you. That's the idea. So the MedTech Incubator, why is it the right big associate partner? Has already been described earlier, so we'll not go through all this. It's because we've got all the background support we need. All the ecosystem is already in place. Now, what does the big grant do? It is a flagship program, as I said, of BIRAC. The idea is to translate research to commercial products and technology. So this will only work if you haven't got a product yet. So you need to be a startup from ideation to proof concept to work for this. And the maximum grant will come up to 50 lakhs, and you have to do this over 18 months. So that's the essence of the grant. Now, what areas do they support? They support a wide area of support. You don't have, even though it's from the Department of Biotechnology, they give tremendous amount of support to devices and diagnostics, which probably many of your colleges work in. They also work in drug, including drug delivery, industrial biotech, secondary agriculture, stem cells, vaccines, and bioinformatics and facilities. So, and also they work in data analytics in terms of cloud computing, machine learning, and so on. So they do cover a very large variety, and engineering departments and science should be able to apply for this grant. Who can apply? A startup which is not 5 years yet, after 1st of August 2020, can apply. Scientists, faculty, research scholars can apply, but the condition is you must be a graduate in any discipline, and you must have an intention to be incubated. It is not a research grant for academics acquire. This is a grant to help you commercialize your idea in 18 months, get it into a startup, and so on. BIRAC has recently also done some revision with their entry, so that's what this is about. Now, what are you looking at? Basic exploratory research projects having low elements of novelty these are not something they're looking for. Projects involving systematic clinical trials, field trials, or late stage validation, you would not qualify for this. Companies who are older than 5 years will not qualify. Companies which are proprietary will not qualify. And if the promoter is holding 20% in other companies, they will also not qualify. The reason is the idea of this grant is to support people who are getting started and who are lacking funds. So there is no exception on biotech. And then you need to be an Indian citizen. And if you are employed or you're a research student, then you need to get a NOC from your college. So there is no issues. And you also need to have an incubator which will say they will incubate you once you get a grant, which I can do. I will give you a letter of intent once I look at your project. That is not an issue. And you must have not got the grant before. So these are the conditions. This is the process they do. I'm not going to really run through it too much. It takes about 6 months from the day they close for you to get the money. So these are the various processes. We'll show you the next slide. The first process is a preliminary screening to make sure your idea fits, it is not being copied, and so on. Next, it's sent to a committee to have a look at it, and then it is sent to a technical evaluation panel who will then have a look at it, and then they will finally send it to the expert selection committee. So all this will probably take around 4 months to happen. And what are the things that grants looking for? As you can see, the biggest portion is looking for is technical viability. So you guys are in the right place. All of us are in engineering schools. So we should be having tremendous ability in terms of technology. And then you see there's two other ones, unmet need and value proposition. Obviously, the technology can only do well if there is a need and there's a value proposition. And if you see, they have given 15% to the team and 15% for the proposition for it to become commercialized. So this is what you need to focus. So you really need to put a lot of effort to make sure that technical viability works. The grant will support you 30% maximum to buy equipment, 30% for manpower, travel is about 1.5, consumables, they're flexible, outsourcing is 30%, and IP, they allow up to 1.5, but you could request for more. And you can pay for incubation space and rental and services, and 5% for contingency. So this is how the 50 lakhs should be distributed. So the first thing to do would be to get a letter of intent from an incubator, get your own NOC from your own college. There's no objections. You need to be an individual, you need to be a company or an LLP. Otherwise, you can't apply. So this is something you need to be careful. And we already told you, if you own more than 20% in some other organization, you are also not eligible to apply for this grant. And if you ask me, will they find out? Of course, they will find out. They do a check on everybody before they pass it on to the next level. So they will come back and say, your name is on the following companies, please clarify. So you need to be cautious of that. Yes, this has just come into the picture. You are supposed to, after when you start making some money, you're supposed to pay back 5% of the loyalty until you pay back the 50 lakhs. However, saying that, there is no liability in case the product doesn't go to market or nothing happens. So it's only you pay on your net sales 5% until you reach 50 lakhs. And if you decide to sell the license, then you need to talk to BIRAC before you actually sell the license because of the royalty agreement. So you need to work something out for that. So the liability to pay royalty will terminate upon the foreclosure or termination of the project as per the government letter of intent. Okay. Now, what can we offer you in this? We will orientate you in terms of innovators and entrepreneurs of the eligibility and aim of the big scheme. We will actually guide you what is allowed and what is not allowed. We will mentor you in terms of technical, business, and IP, but it's not only restricted to that. Just now, Pratishtha already talked about the large pool of mentors we have. They will help you. They will also connect you with individual centers where they will help you with specifically your area of work. And the mentors will handhold you throughout the process until you submit on the 15th of September at 5:30 p.m. So that's when it closes. And we will also facilitate and connect you with other networking big applicants. Now, I've done that in less than 10 minutes because I want you to ask me as many questions as you want. And please keep this email and write to us, and you will be able to get more information from us. And I am now open to questions, and you can ask me directly the questions. Any questions? If there's any questions on the chat board also, I can answer them. No, there isn't.
Muthu sir, so while we're waiting for participants to share their questions, There's another opportunity that HTIC has. Can I talk about that? Can I share that quickly?
Yes, go for it.
So HTIC has actually been given a huge project for brain research, which means that there are multiple layers in the brain and there are multiple cells that are there. So there are smaller cells that are actually getting completely analyzed, and we've gotten a project from government to do research on this. Only 4 countries have been able to do this, and we are the next country that actually is working on this particular project under HTIC and IIT Madras Center for Brain and Research. So we are actually opening applications for students who might be interested to come and intern or work with HTIC. This project is of great national interest because it's going to provide you great visibility as you get to work with IIT Madras, and also a project that is of great national importance and significance. So what we're looking at is 2 kinds of people for this particular project. We're looking at young people who are just out of college with some good coding skills in any language is fine. Could be in MongoDB or anything, and good problem solving and algorithm building skills. And we're also looking at students, or we're also looking at graduates who are actually good in Android development, application development. So that's what we're looking at. So if there's any interest, you guys can reach out to me or share your resume for taking to take this opportunity. You can write to me at community@htic.iitm.ac.in. I've also posted it on the chat box, so you can reach out to me and share your resume stating your interest in being a part of this project.
And it's a great opportunity for you. You'll be working with one of the finest faculty at IIT Madras, our faculty in charge, Dr. Mohan Shankar. He will, the young faculty, a very dynamic faculty who started HTIC. So you'll be working under his care. Now, there's some questions in the thing. I need a little bit of help. The question, register, the first one says,
so the first question is, thank you. So whether the graduate should have Udyog Aadhaar for applying for this. Aadhaar card is mandatory, or you can also use any other government identification card that you can, which actually shows that you have some national identification thing. So because this is funded by government, they require some sort of national ID.
They can always apply the Aadhaar card afterwards. That's not an issue.
You can also use
because you really need your Aadhaar card to file taxes and all now, so they will need to get the Aadhaar card eventually. During the application process, they can say they are applying, and it doesn't take that long to get an Aadhaar card anyway. So yes, they can apply first and then get that Aadhaar card. That should not be an issue. But they have to be graduates, and they must be doing this full time. That is one of the biggest concern. If faculty plan to apply, I know the procedure. There is no issues. Same thing as anybody else. You can talk to us. You want to put your email there, and one of my team will connect with you. Kanimini S from KPR. Can you just put your email there, and one of my team members will connect with you. Sumitra, can you please take care of that?
Yes, sir.
Just to add to what sir said, for faculties, you don't have to actually leave your current job. Faculty, doctors, clinicians, you can continue with your current job. At the same time, you can also be part of this project, as long as you're dedicating enough time to both your positions. So you don't have to actually leave one for the other.
But you need to get an NOC from your college if you're working in a private college and so on. Like the IITs, we don't have that issue. So you need to have to work that out. You need to get an NOC. The next question says, good evening, sir. I'm an recommendation. Whether is it possible to apply research proposal without any incubator stroke company? You don't have to worry about the incubator. I will give you the note if you write to me, if your project is of value. But as you get the grant, you need to be incubated. You can apply as an individual. So if you want to stick your email on the screen, again, one of the team members, Archana or Arshini or Sumitra will connect with you to find out what you're doing. Priya from KPR. Would you like to do that? Just stick your email on the thing and they will connect with you and they will guide you, and then they will bring in an expert in that particular area. Let's say you're doing life sciences, they'll bring an expert in life sciences to guide you through the form. So that's what they need to do. Okay. So Sumitra will take all your emails and then she will connect with you. And in the event you want to connect with us, we have said the email is htic.iitm.ac.inc. It's also on the what you call a message board. Yeah, we will send you a mail just as soon as we finish our program. Both faculty will get a mail from my team that someone Rajesh is interested in joining the brain research project. So Register will connect you to the right researcher to kick that forward. And she probably will need to know from you what would you like to do, so she can do that. Can you have an initial discussion before formulating the proposal? That is the entire idea of the whole thing. So if you give, that is why I said put down your email and we will call you and we will speak to you. So please, it says Dean of Research. So whoever that is, if you like to just put your email on the screen, one of us will certainly come back to you, most likely by end of today. I'm interested in joining the research on waste management. Can you please tell me what that means? Does that mean you want to start a company, or you want to work in waste management? What is it? I don't understand the question. So Kanumani from KPR, maybe you can unmute and tell me directly.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful opportunity given to me. And the presentation was very excellent, sir. It was very informative too. And my research is completely focused on waste management, sir. So
Okay.
in this COVID pandemic, there are a kind of medical wastes, no, sir? So I belongs to do the research in that area, sir.
Okay, but
how to dispose
are you a faculty right now? You are a faculty?
Yes, sir. Right now I'm an associate professor at KPR Institute.
Okay. Have you put your email in? Then we will set up help with you. We'll talk to you. We already stuck your email in the checkbox.
Yes, sir. I have initiated the question at the first.
Yeah, email potential.
Yes, sir. Potem. I have sent. I have sent my email, sir.
Okay, so Sumitra will write to you.
I mentioned my email ID in the chat box.
Just put it there. She will write to you by end of the day, and then we will talk to you first, and then we'll connect you to the right person to mentor you to write the proposal.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So we will do that. So Sumitra, please ensure that anyway the chat is recorded, so we can always play it later. But you can still just
noting down, sir. I'm noting down.
Yeah, keep a note because I would like the emails to go out by end of the day. Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
much.
much.
No problem. We still have another 10 minutes or so. So please ask as many questions as you like. And if you have if you don't want to ask now, drop me an email at htic.iitm.ac.in. That comes to me directly, and it will be answered within very, very rapidly. It will be quickly responded as of now, and then I will direct it to the right person. There's one more there for brain research, which is just so you may want to take that as well.
Yeah. So for brain research, you can share your resumes at community. I'm going to HTIC.iitm.
That would be the best thing for you to drop the resume to her.
Resume and intimating your interest.
She can take it from there. The big ones, we will connect with you. Can a UG student be involved? In what sense? Dhanalakshmi, are you a faculty or a student? Please unmute and maybe we have a live conversation.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Absolutely. Tell me, please.
Yes, sir. Am I?
I can't hear you now. Are you a faculty or are you a student? What are you? We can't hear you. I mean, I don't know about others, but I can't hear you.
So probably I can try to clarify. This is Mohan from PALS.
Yes, please.
I think one of the points of interest for most of the colleges would be that since you have stated that this is only for graduates, I think everybody will be curious to know in what way can students get involved.
No, students.
Is there
yeah, that's what I'm asking. What is the interest? Is it the grant or she's just asking me about the students?
No, the question is about projects in certain areas which are specified under your grant schedule. So if some of the students, let us say as a part of their final year projects, or even as a part of some innovation competitions, they have done some projects which could be classified under some of the areas which you have specified, do you think they stand a chance of applying for the grant? I think that would be the general question.
Okay. You cannot apply for this grant unless you're a graduate or you're in the final semester of your college, because they want this to be done full time. Right? So if it's a student, there's other grants you'll have to look at. This particular grant is for, or the alternative is you get a faculty, the faculty will apply and you'll be part of the team. They don't want the grant to be just used to do research. It has to be commercial. That's important. But there is another aspect to this question, which I want, that's why I asked, what is it? We can offer, and we have done this in the past, students can be at our center for things like placement, jobs, and things like that can be done. So if students are interested, like just now, but just posted, we are looking for students to work on those projects. So they could, so there is job opportunities in that area. I hope that clarifies that the grant, you have to be graduate, but to work with HTIC, you don't have to, you can be an undergraduate and we can always run you on an internship.
Or a pre-incubation group.
Or pre-incubation or even incubation, that we don't have a problem. So as now I am a student, I wish to start up a company as a private limited in the electrical battery sector. How shall I proceed? So what year are you, Shashidhar? Can you tell me what year are you? Are you a final year student?
Yes, I am a final year student, sir.
Okay, which college are you studying?
From KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, sir.
Okay. So does your college have an incubator?
Yes, they have facilities for incubation, sir.
Okay, so one of the things you should do is go visit that incubator, talk to the people who are running the incubator, see what they can do. If they're unable to help you, you drop us an email and we will try and connect you to our incubator, not my incubator, another incubator in our institution, which looks at electric battery. But if you're still a student, it's better for you to do your incubation right now at your own college is what I would advise.
Okay, sir. Sir, does I have any extra credits as I am a student, as I am starting now? Do I have any extra credits?
You are asking the wrong person. I am not in your college, so I cannot answer that. Whether you get extra credit or you don't get extra credit. You need to ask that to your professor. Yeah? Okay. Any other questions, please? Okay, if there's no other questions, anything, please drop an email to us. And all those I have promised to send an email, you will get an email by end of the day from one of my team members. If anything else you need to ask, you please send an email to one of us and we will respond on very timely fashion. And thank you very much from my part. I give it back to Pratishta, and then maybe Pratishta can let Mohan wrap it up. I don't know.
So just to sum up, we have multiple opportunities for faculty members and students. The first one being the incubation and pre-incubation program. So you guys can write to us if you have ideas in the healthcare space or any other area, we can connect you to the right incubator. Or if it fits well with the mandate of HTIC, we can also explore opportunities for pre-incubation and incubation. The second part is if you're looking to do internships, or if you're looking to do if you're looking for employment opportunities, you can also reach out to us. I mean, we don't really guarantee a job or an internship, but we definitely will open the door and we can have the conversation rolling. If there is a fit in terms of your skill sets and the job relevance, then definitely the researcher will take you up. That's the second thing. The third thing, if you're looking at doing research in the specific areas of BIG, then please do write to us. We will guide you and support you in your application process. This is a great opportunity, especially for students and faculty during this time where it's getting hard for everybody to get jobs and look at the next step, especially the graduates. So you guys can explore entrepreneurship as an alternative career, and start with getting a big proposal in place. Oh, that's all from my end. Thank you so much for joining us. Over to Mr. Mohan from PALS.
Thank you very much, Professor Muthusingaram and Pratishtha Jain. Your session has been really useful to tell our partner colleges with regard to what are the activities of HTIC, as well as what are the opportunities that are there under the big grant proposal. I think we have learned that, of course, PALS being like a 360-degree initiative, we have events and initiatives to support the management, faculty, and students of the colleges. We, of course, see this as a big opportunity for the faculty of the colleges whom we represent. And it's indeed a great opportunity that they can continue doing their roles as a faculty member of the colleges and at the same time be part of this initiative if they have some useful projects. And you have been kind enough to tell them that you can communicate with them of interest, talk to them one-to-one, clear all their doubts, and see if there are some opportunities which they can pursue. We're also thankful for you to give us an idea that although the big scheme may not strictly be suitable for undergraduate students, but still within HTIC, you have a lot of opportunities for internships and placement which the students can utilize, especially in these difficult times of COVID, and getting a job could be a challenge. I think the entrepreneurship route with assistance from institutions like you at HTIC will go a long way to further the entrepreneurship in the country, as well as be a big assistance to the colleges and the students. So I think with these few words, I'd like to thank the audience who have actually come to learn about the initiatives of HTIC. And please try to make maximum use of whatever opportunities are being provided. Continue to communicate with HTIC, and you can even communicate with PALS if you want any further information or clarifications, and we can coordinate with HTIC and let you know. With these words, I thank you very much, and we can close the session. All the best.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.